Hello and welcome back to my holiday series. Today is August 9th and it is Book Lovers Day. So I'm a book lover. You could kind of see it when I was showing off my Sailor Moon stuff. But yeah, I have 4 bookshelves. They're not completely filled with books. I do obviously have, little figurines and knickknacks and things on them as well. But that is also because I kind of have made a shift to audiobooks. I am very ADHD, especially when I try to sit down and read. So I find that with audiobooks, I can knit or, color a picture or, do something. So I do love audiobooks as well. But something about actually having the book in your hands is always better. And I've never really been one for the Kindle or e-readers in general. Yeah, you can, you flip the page, but you gotta make the noise yourself when you flip the page, right? It just takes extra effort to do. So yeah, I definitely am a book lover. I have, however, not always been a book lover. When I was younger, I didn't know, and my parents didn't know, apparently teachers didn't catch it either, that I was dyslexic, or am dyslexic. Didn't go away. So when I was first learning how to read, I absolutely hated it and struggled. And then it's just progressed into, older and older, and still never really figured it out for a while. I remember sitting at the kitchen table trying to do social studies homework. The absolute bane of my existence. I could sit there and, struggle and read and whatever, and then you go to the end of the chapter. I don't even know if social studies books are set up this way anymore, but you go to the end of the chapter, right? And there are questions. Now, the questions are pretty much phrased the exact same way that you will find them in the paragraphs, in the sections that you just read, right? It's like, Abraham Lincoln was the what president? And then you go and you're like, Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president. Plain as day, right? But I would sit there for hours struggling to find these answers. And my parents would just kind of look at me like, what is wrong with you? Like, read this sentence, read this again, trying to help me without just giving me the answers, right? So that was a big struggle. I still did well in school. It took my 8th grade math teacher, kind of getting off the subject of reading a little bit, my 8th grade math teacher was the one who found out that who let me know that I was Pixlexic also, which is flipping numbers around. So she was the first teacher to actually really look at the work that I was doing, and saw that, where I flipped the number, and then if I followed those steps, continue down with the, equations and stuff, that would be the right answer if that was the number that was used, right? So if it was 17 and I flipped it to 71 and continued with 71 throughout it, I actually got the right answer if it was 71 and not 17, right? So that was a huge breakthrough, because I literally just thought I sucked at math. I don't. I'm decent at math. But yeah, it took to get to 8th grade, really, to catch that and to realize that, and then to give me, partial credit and stuff, instead of just saying, nah, you're wrong. It's the wrong answer. Show your work. Why bother showing your work when it doesn't even matter, because you're just gonna look at the answer and tell me that I'm wrong, right? So she was the first person to actually look at my work and see what I was doing, and that was wonderful. Back to reading, and I know there's, controversy, because why not? There's controversy with everything, right? The first book that I actually read for fun on my own was Harry Potter. And that is why it will always hold a special place in my heart, because my friend, the first movie was coming out, and my friend is like, oh my gosh, do you want to go see Harry Potter? And I'm like, I mean, wizards, I guess. That sounds cool, right? And she's like, but you got to read the book. And I was like, I don't know. I'm not much of a reader, right? I was in 6th grade, by the way. And she's like, no, you got to read it. You got to read it. So, because I'm also a people pleaser, I decided I would try to read it. And of course, the first chapter of that book is all about the Dursleys. There is no mention of Harry Potter in the first chapter of the book. And I looked at my friend, I'm like, what is this? There's no, where is this Harry Potter kid? I thought he was Matt, like, his name's on the, she's like, no, you just gotta get through the first chapter. Just get through the first chapter. And I'm like, oh my God, you're killing me, man. I can't do this. But I did. And, yeah, you know, and then I became obsessed ever since, right? I find no shame in liking the work, regardless of what the author, you know, I could separate the work from the author, right? I don't agree with everything that she has said, especially when it comes to, you know, transsexual women and things, and yeah, it's just not a good look, right? But those books will always hold a special place in my heart because it was the first book that I actually read on my own for fun. I didn't think reading was fun at all. I thought it was boring and stupid, and, you know, I was just kind of all over the place and just, who wants to read? And then I became a giant bookworm. I was basically always, I was Belle, basically, right? I was walking around reading books. My family for a while was calling me antisocial, because I would rather read a book than, you know, talk to people. You know, even my own family, right? Now, one thing to say about my family, I love them dearly, most of them. But we are Italian, right? My Nana was a full-blood Italian woman, little 4'10" Italian woman, right? So we all tend to get very loud, and I know that I get loud, especially when I'm talking about something that excites me. It's really hard to keep it all in, right? So, but I know from being a part of that too, it can be overwhelming. So, you know, a lot of times I just like, too much noise, I'm gonna go in my room and read, right? You know, oh, we're starting to get into, you know, party mode, you know what, I'm just gonna go read. So I was teased, by my family a lot, for preferring to read over socializing. And I'm still not a very social person, so what do you know, right? Now, as I said, I do tend to go a lot more with audiobooks, because, I mean, I wasn't actually diagnosed with ADHD until I was an adult, so there's that, but for whatever reason, it's gotten a lot worse lately, right? So, over the past few years and things, I'm just kind of like, I would sit there and try to read something, even like, you know, work-related, whatever, or even just trying to read something for fun, and my eyes will always go to the bottom of the page, no matter what. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm like, no, stop reading that. You're gonna spoil things for yourself. You gotta read things in order, duh. So, you know, I've tried the bookmark thing, I've tried the paper thing, you know, just try to cover things up and go, which can work, but, I definitely have to have music on if I'm actually trying to read a book. And yeah, like I said, with the audiobooks, I can sit there and knit. So, that keeps my hands busy so my brain can focus. But yeah, so, I think I'm going to do also a bit of show and tell here. So I will show you my books. I got lots. Not the most that anybody has, obviously, but in my opinion, it's lots. So over here we have my fantasy, Harry Potter, lots of Harry Potter stuff to go with it. I got into British stuff here, and this is kind of an assortment, kind of a jumble. A little midsection there is actually books from my junior high that they were getting rid of. So my friend and I took a bunch of books. These ones are kind of hidden in here. Chronicles of Narnia, Golden Compass. Yeah, cool stuff, right? I like my Harry Potter shelf. Original Harry Potter Legos when they were still yellow. Then we kind of got this hodgepodge here of LARP books, LARP things, tabletop stuff. We got my Sailor Moon stuff. We got comics, because comics are cool too. And then these are school books, actually, like regular school books, and then my childhood books. So it's kind of a mismatch there, but, you know, whatever. Then we got stuff like, you know, dictionaries, and then knitting stuff. And then this shelf is kind of empty-ish. I think, honestly, some of my books are missing. It's still at my parents' house. Some more books from, like, 7th grade. Other random books there. My Sailor Moon, Power Rangers, all of my manga, which is mostly Fruits Basket. And these are mixtures of school stuff, scrapbook stuff, things that I'm a pack rat and don't want to get rid of. Got notebooks and stuff. Got more school books. Got a Wikipedia book. All of my Doctor Who action figures and things, and little dolls that I made. And then these ones don't have any books on them either. Again, I think some of my books are still at my parents' house, so I will have to check that. But yeah, so books are great. Read more. Even if it's a magazine, honestly, like just reading more helps to stimulate your brain more, right? So have fun today on Book Lovers Day. Pick up a new book, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.